Everything is moving along smoothly, Mr. Lucro.
We'll be counting on you again this time.
Yo, them polka dots.
Major General Lorenz, you're here in the Hollow. In person?
You're the squad Isolde spoke so highly of. Codename Obel, wasn't it? This is quite a surprise. You arrived even faster than I expected. It's just as Colonel Isolde said, you're quite a capable squad.
Given that you're leading this entire operation, I'd expect you to be at the command post.
Yo, this must be Mr. Lucro.
You must be Mr. Lucro. We met briefly at the Porcelumex Safety Inspection Reception Banquet.
A reception banquet for a safety inspection? That makes no sense.
This, gun certainly has a blunt matter of speech. Anyway, we are acquainted from the banquet, aren't we? Also involved with the Obsidian Division, I see. For someone so young, you must have made quite the impact with the military.
Not so, Mr. Lucro. This young lady is the mayor's envoy, specially sent by the kind-hearted Mr. Mayflower to oversee our work.
Yo, he was also in Castle. He was the main guy. Castle. Here, you're too kind.
I'm just doing my duty. Please, the title of envoy is a bit too much. I feel like it's a little too high and mighty.
So you're a distinguished guest from city administration. My apologies. Please excuse the poor welcome.
So, what brings you here, Major General, Mr. Lucro, and these troops who've been acting without Colonel Isolde's orders?
Yo, and apparently he was in Spider-Man 2 as an additional voice.
My troops and I have our reasons for being here.
Let's see, also in the Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad.
You're a veteran, Captain Magus. Even if you don't fully grasp what overstepping means, you should at least know not to ask about classified military matters. Mind your tongue, Captain. After all, besides your sharp tongue, there's not much else you have left.
Major General, shouldn't we be going? Staying too long in areas with high ether activity isn't good for my health.
You know, funny enough, he was actually in animated movies for the Justice League and Green Lantern. Interesting.
You're right, Mr. Lucro.
Nani. Escorted by the troops, Lorenz and Lucro withdraw from the stronghold.
Aside from that clerk I met at the Special Military Affairs desk, these are honestly the two most annoying people I've ever had to listen to. Sorry, Captain Magus. It was wrong of me to speak disrespectfully about a commanding officer.
Oof.
I'll let it slide this time, Morphe. If I weren't afraid of getting you all tried at a military tribunal, I'd have turned every curse word into high-energy laser blasts right at their faces.
You know, and it's funny how that show got started, because apparently his co-star on Castle was becoming more popular, and so he was just like, nah, no more, I'm out. The reasons they were here.
This place is not only a key Exaltus stronghold, but also one of their major research facilities. One of Porcelumex's executives previously worked with the Exaltists. Many of their facilities were originally Porcelumex's assets as well. And now under Lucro's lead, Porcelumex has formed ties with the Defense Force. It's clear why they're here.
You know, somebody jealous.
You're making my head spin. Isn't it just those two plotting how to profit?
Goodness, Commander Lorenz is such a bad person.
No! Why you need it? Are you? in that naive teenage mindset of seeing the world in just good and bad.
Goodness, Orphe. You really are a fool. But I can't say you're wrong this time. They chose to meet in the Hollow, likely to stay under the radar. Either way, Obel's mission continues. Everyone, we keep pursuing the escaping Exaltists.
Yes, Captain Magus.
Somewhere in the Lemmian Hollow, illuminated by a flickering candlelight. Great Overseer, the Defense Force took the bait just as planned. And they're feeling pretty proud of themselves. Perfect. They've wasted enough time on meaningless distractions, and that foolish general thinks he's already claimed enough victories. They won't be throwing major forces at us anymore. Though the price was nothing more than a few necessary sacrifices. They died for their faith, Overseer. Besides, the troops you brought back from the underworld were a huge help. Soldiers fighting soldiers. It's cruel, really. Still, if it's for the right cause, then even you and I must be willing to give our lives. Absolutely. If that greater purpose is an audience with the Creator, I know you have other intentions, but you'll still open the path to the Creator, won't you, Great Overseer? Wait, so there's Overseer, Great Overseer? Yo, does this go up to like Super, Ultra, Mega Supreme Overseer? I've wandered in confusion along this path more than once, but the whispers I heard were true without a doubt. Once I've achieved my goal, I'll open the path to the Creator for you. Which means your sacrifice and mine are justified. But Faithin is with the Defense Force right now, and that one's a real handful. Not the type to let things go easily. And that elite squad of theirs has been a serious thorn in our side. I've noticed that youngster may be an unexpected variable, but I've already set the course for how their fates unfold. Don't back them into a corner unless you have to. Your arrangements are reasonable. May the Creator refine us. You know, all I'm thinking right now is Metal Gear Solid. Like, they played us like a damn fiddle! Cheers and laughter echo from the military camp, which has been so quiet the past few days.
Huh?
Why is the Defense Force base so lively? What's going on? Let's ask around and see what the soldiers know. Oh, new phase. And not in you for rather. You must be that outside help for the, what was it, Apostle Squad? Thanks for the brilliant leadership of the Major General and his adjunct. We secure an easy victory. Sure, you didn't land a big win, but you still played a part. Hey, what's with that look? We're celebrating our victory here. Don't be such a buzzkill, okay? Ducro. Welcome back, Envoy. I've been waiting here just to make sure you return safely. You're really laying it on thick, huh? Such modesty still if you're acting on behalf of the mayor and the defense force matters. I'm sure your words hold real authority with the city administration. We owe it to the Major General's forces that we were able to reclaim a significant catch of Porcelumex without incident. Assets Ferox had handed over to the Exaltus, which are, in fact, Porcelumex property. It's quite the haul. The Major General and I go way back. He may not be the most charming guy, but he's someone you can count on. I know I'm just a shrewd, profit-minded trader, and I also know there's been some bad blood between you and the Major General. But that doesn't stop me from seeing the potential for us to work together in the future. Someone like you always brings value to the table, so naturally, I'm pleased you made it back in one piece. About Porcelumix and the Exaltants. His response is gonna be, no, can't hear you. It's true that certain individuals within Porcelumix, including Mr. Ferox and his team, engaged in unlawful activities with the Exaltus. The shameful and pathetic Mr. Ferox is now in custody. And with the Major General's support, we've tracked down his subordinates who escaped into the Hollow. Porcelumix is clean of any further criminal association. Regarding the so-called Obscura device, while they were created through Ferox's dealings with the Exaltus, I'm not clear on their scientific worth. Still, they're made of costly porcelain, so they belong to the company. We'll recover each of the Obscura once the defense force finishes assessing their risks. Yes, Colonel Zola stated in the report that the Obscura could possess an extreme risk, even going so far to order an evacuation of the Waifu Peninsula for public safety. It's gone too dangerous. Looks like it's time for me to leave Waifu Peninsula. Take care of yourself. Very sus. These guys sure know how to take it easy. They're already planning the victory party right after winning. So, what's the Defense Force's next move? Here's the one. The Major General believes the key members of the Exaltus have been wiped out and their base cleared. As far as he's concerned, we've already won. I never thought victory could come so easily. Too soon. Get out of my face. What about the Obscura in the city? You faced the Exaltus more times than anyone, Proxy. Your insight is valuable. But even so, the Obscura division can't keep pouring resources into chasing down a minor outlaw group. As for the Obscura, Colonel Zola is taking our intel and the risks posed by the sacrifices very seriously. She's already preparing to evacuate the citizens of Waifu Peninsula. We'll stay on guard here to protect the civilians until everyone's been evacuated, and all Obscura in the city has been cleared. It's thanks to Isolda's leadership that we were able to locate so many Obscura across the city before the operation began too. Did the Colonel know about the risk of the Obscura all along? Since everyone's taking a break, why don't you relax a little too, Proxy? I'm heading back to the camp with the captain. Want to join us for a bit, Proxy? Despite your doubts, with cheers ringing through the night all around you, you find yourself taking a brief rest by the firelight with two soldiers. As the whole squad settles in at their quarters, the troops are already preparing to celebrate.
Everyone! The Exaltus, the threat that plagued Waifu Peninsula, have been wiped out under our thunderous assault. Once again, we've brought justice and victory to the people of New Eridu, like every triumph before.
Cool.
Give it up for yourselves, soldiers! Cheer for victory!
And let's hear it for our brilliant commander, Major General Lorenz!
Cheers erupts once more.
hate to be that girl, but isn't it a bit early to celebrate?
Yo, never early.
That commander sure seems to be soaking up the cheers.
A typical big shot, huh?
You're right to be concerned, Proxy. There are still Exaltist stragglers roaming inside and outside the Hollow, and the Obscura in the city haven't been fully inspected yet.
As far as I know, the key Exaltist leaders are still on the loose. They've managed to slip away after every encounter so far. The Exaltists will still be a threat until they're taken out.
Yep.
Even though Mevarok was severely injured by Ishu and Shifu, and the Exaltists suffered heavy losses, there's still no sign of them backing down. Miasma activity is still spreading. Key people like Sarah still hold major influence.
Ishwan, High Preceptor of Yunquai Summit? I've heard the name before.
How come I don't see Colonel Isolde anywhere? As the operations leader, shouldn't she be here to celebrate?
Yeah. I mean, just look at the Major General right now in all his glory. Just look at him. Mission accomplished. Mission flipping accomplished, everybody. The Major General did it.
Isolde has been unwell recently and went back to the city to rest. She's also been absent from meetings over the past few days.
Maybe the commander's like Proxy and isn't fond of these kinds of gatherings. She might have just found an excuse to slip away.
You might be right. That does sound like her. In any case, we've dealt a heavy blow to the Exaltists. And after fighting on the verge of life and death, the soldiers really needed a victory to boost their morale.
That doesn't sound like something our strict Captain Magus would say.
Think of it as me trying to lift everyone's spirits. As soldiers, it is our duty to obey orders. So even when we have doubts, we can't launch investigations on our own.
Yes, we can.
If you take action without orders, you'll be standing trial at a military tribunal.
Wrong.
I might not mind, but I'm sure Seed Senior would stop us.
I don't want anyone ending up in front of a military tribunal either.
Right. Since it is a military order, the Major's restriction on you can't be lifted until the operation is officially concluded. Sorry about that, Proxy.
Yo, how's about we just act as a proxy and work for you?
I understand. Obel Squad and all the other soldiers have already given so much to protect New Eridu. Everyone should enjoy this hard-earned victory.
Thank you, Proxy.
But as Fafen, I have no right to stop moving forward. Excuse me, Miss Special Envoy? The Colonel asked me to pass on a message. Some bigwig from TOPS is here to see you. From TOPS? Don't ask me about the specifics. You'll just have to go see yourself. Oh my goodness, it's that guy! Damien! You meet with Damien after dark and fill him in on what Lucro's doing.
Actually, I've already heard about Lucro personally entering the Hollow and the Major General's movements.
Oh, cool.
Besides relocating Porcelumex and the Exaltist stock of Porcelum, they're rounding up trusted members who served under Ferox, including my poor colleagues who fled into the Hollow's labs, fearing a purge. The dust hasn't even settled, yet they're already discarding what they no longer need, proving that the only thing crueler than one ruthless boss is another.
I mean, meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
I have no place in TOPS any longer, and the Defense Force won't seek justice for a stray like me.
So you're in a pretty tricky position as well.
Even though you played a major role in taking down Ferox, your new boss won't tolerate you for long, will he?
Exactly. I can't stand stray dogs like you, always sniffing out scraps to survive. Like I ever had a choice. Honestly, I was already planning to turn to you and Yunquei Summit for help. Regardless of our differences, you are among the few in Waifei Peninsula who have the power, care about justice, and are willing to hear me out. A stray like me is used to bowing and begging.
You know, somehow I feel like this man's gonna be up for a promotion soon.
Unfortunately, no matter how much power we might have, we're just as constrained as you are now. I can't contact anyone at Yunquei Summit for assistance either. But if it's just to keep you safe...
Act as a proxy, Damien.
It's alright. Just when I was at my wit's end, Miss Savior appeared.
Just as Damien finishes speaking, a small figure suddenly springs out from behind him.
Hiya! I'm the savior he was talking about. It's funny, most company employees usually see me as a disaster. Who would have thought I'd ever be called a savior?
Allow me to introduce you. This is Miss Zhao from TOPS, affiliated with the Krampus Compliance Authority.
Krampus Compliance Authority?
Nice to meet you, Miss Zhao. The Krampus Compliance Authority. Is that the name of another company within TOPS? It doesn't...
That's alright. Most people haven't heard of it. Krampus isn't actually a company. Our role is to inspect, decide on, and enforce regulations. Brutal competition is an inherent flaw of the market system. For the members at the round table, it doesn't matter if the company's executives are tearing each other apart. However, the condition is that all actions by the company and its management must comply with the core rules and interests of the Alliance.
I'm sorry, my brain's broken.
The business game doesn't always let us play by the rules. That's the round table's mercy. But when those rule breakers go too far, the strict mother reaches out with her black branch.
So essentially, Zhao is the FTC, or the FTC.
This time, Porcelumix has clearly stepped out of line.
So you really are a disaster.
I think I get why the corporations might see members of Krampus as a disaster. Even so, having regulators like you is probably a key reason TOPS has managed to maintain its strong position in the city.
So, it's not hard for you to understand why I see Miss Zhao as my savior, right?
We'll only know whether I'm your savior or your disaster once all the investigations are complete.
Better than letting someone like Lucro treat you like a fish on a chopping board, right?
Although he isn't really a friend, I do sort of get Damien's style. He's determined to survive this brutal game, but he's also someone who never crosses the line.
Yo, what is this, fourth wall?
Huh. You've got sharp and beautiful eyes. I hope you'll never become the enemy of Krampus. And that when those eyes look at me again, they won't be filled with hostility, Miss Bell.
Miss Zhao, the Krampus member, turns and walks off with Damien in tow. She may have been small in stature, but her commanding presence nearly overshadowed the disheveled Damien beside her. It's getting late. Let's head back to the tent and get some rest.